Uh, Good afternoon, our viewers and listeners for KMU TV. I'm your host, henceforth Ngongola. Joining me this afternoon is Mr. Fredrick Banda, who's aspiring for academic minister. Mr. Fredrick, welcome.
Uh, Thank you very much.
Feel free. This is just an open discussion.
Yes, sir.
Feel at home. Don't feel intimidated.
Yes, sir.
Sure. So, I would like to know, or our viewers and listeners would like to know, who's Mr. Fredrick Banda and
Oh,
why did you decide to run for this position of academic minister?
okay. Uh, First of all, I'll take up the first question. You said who is Mr. Fredrick? Um, I'm just one of the students at KMU. Yes, who is aspiring for the ministries of academics. Yes. If I heard you very well, the question that you asked was why you aspire for the position. I believe and have a strong conviction that there are gaps that need to be worked on under the Ministry of Academics. I would like you to get me right. I don't mean current academic ministers and those who've worked under this ministry didn't do anything, but I respect them and I respect their work. I appreciate because they also worked tirelessly to improve one or two things under the ministry. So I would like to say I'm aspiring for the position because I feel there are gaps which have been left and that we need to work on for the betterment of the student at our university. Yes, I
Okay,
think that's what I can say.
Mr. Frederick. So, in your answer to this
Yes,
question, you've mentioned gaps.
yes.
So, our viewers and our listeners would like to understand, or they would like to know what specific gaps are you talking about? Maybe just identify maybe one or two, so that our viewers and listeners can be clear of what you
Okay.
mean by gaps.
Thank you very much once again for the question. Uh, by what I mean by gaps, I believe there are a lot of things that we need to work on under this ministry. One of the things that I would mention, there has been a challenge that we've been facing as students. One of the challenges is losses of result. I think at our institution, we've been facing this challenge, and this is the challenge that has affected a lot of students, a number of students that I can't even mention the number. So I feel that gap must be worked on for the betterment of students. The other thing that I'll talk about that has been a challenge to most of the students, and it has been a cry for most of the students, is the issue of supplementary exam. I feel that issue is also a issue that has to be looked into so that we do something about it, at least that we bring supplementary exam on board. So there are a lot of gaps, but to mention uh, these, these are one of the gaps that I've said. Thank you very much, sir.
Sure, I'm Mr. Frederick. Okay, thank you for that response, for actually identifying the gaps or
Mm.
letting us know the gaps that you've actually
Yes, sir.
identified as you run for this office. So, look, as you're aspiring to this office,
Yes,
there
sir.
might be personal interests that you might have,
Yes, sir.
but how are you going to make sure to say the decisions that you are making are a reflection of the student interests compared to your own interests? How are you going to make sure to say the decisions that you are making, they are reflecting the interests of students and not your own interests? Because I believe you do have your own personal interests, even as you aspire
Yes,
for these positions or these offices.
yes, sir. Thank you very much once again. I believe, yes, there might be some personal interest uh, for the position that I'm aspiring for, but I think the many thing that I have to understand as a person as I'm standing for this position, I have to understand that being in position, uh, having a position, what makes you to be a leader is not having a position, but what makes you to be a leader is what you do for the position that you are in, how you work for the position. Yes, I believe that I might have a personal interest, but as a leader, I believe a leader is a servant. So my aim is to sign to work for the people and to make sure that my decision does not benefit my personal interest, but my decision benefit the student populace. That one of the things that I would like to work on to make sure that my decision benefit the student, because me being elected or being put into a position, it means I must work for the people, for the betterment of the student populace. Yes, sir. So it's my aim to work hard and to work in accordance with the student. Thank you very much.
I appreciate for that response, Mr. Fredrick.
Yes,
But
sir.
looking into you aspiring for that office within the student union at
Mhm.
Kapasa Makasa in the forthcoming elections on
Yes.
September 26th, 2025, what we are trying to come up with, we are coming up with a union, which
Yes, sir.
is actually a team. So
Mhm.
I would like to find out, Mr. Frederick, how are you going to work with other ministers within the union to avoid conflicts and to promote teamwork? How are you going to how are you going to work with other ministers and promote teamwork in the union?
Okay. Thank you very much once again. I think, Mr. Ensford, that is really a very good question. I believe wherever you go, you find people. And those people, they might be people you love and people you don't love. But at the end of the day, when you are working on one common thing to achieve a common goal, we got no choices in life but to work in accordance with people we found into the organization that we've gone into. So whether I like it or not, I believe there are people that are going to be voted into power. Some of them I might like them, some of them I might not like them. Yes, that might be in me, but what I have to learn at the end of the day as a leader, I must learn to work with the people that I find at a particular place. So my main goal is to make sure that I love and work in accordance with the people that are going to be elected, whether they were at my party or not at my party. My main goal is to work with them for the betterment of the student, because the other thing that I have to understand is that we are not doing this for ourselves, but we are doing it for the student populace of KMU. So uh, this is the thing that I have to learn even when I go into maybe I'm voted into power, then I find different people. Uh, yes, sir.
Okay. And then in terms of promoting teamwork,
In terms of promoting teamwork, uh, there is the say which they say there is no harm doing what is right. Yes. So I believe as long as we are making decision that to promote the betterment of student is to make sure that I cooperate with the decision that we make as a union, as long as it's something that promote the betterment of the student populace. Yes, sir.
okay. So, Mr. Frederick, what you are actually running for is a public office,
Yes, sir.
DSM office, yes, as the Minister of Academic Affairs. So, an election is a competition.
Yes, sir.
and you might have different people who might be fighting for the same office. So,
Yes.
what do you think makes you different from these other candidates who are also aspiring for the same office as you are?
Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, I think every person is different in his own way, is different in his own works. I think we have all the difference that differentiate us from others, and it can be difference in the work. So I think what makes me different is what I'm going to do for the people, and what I plan to do for the people. That's what makes me different. So the other thing, yes, we can say the same thing at the end of the day. We can aspire for the same thing at the end of the day. But what makes us different is the vision that we have for the people and how we plan to work for the people. Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Frederick. So, Mr. Frederick, the first time you thought of aspiring for the position of academic affairs minister,
Mhm.
and there might have been things that you might have identified that you thought to say needed your attention. I
Okay.
believe that in the listeners and the viewers actually believe in that. So, what we'd like to know, Mr. Frederick Banda, is that what issues do students face academically at Kapasamakasa University, and how do you plan to actually address these challenges?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ainsford. I believe there are a lot of issues being faced by students at our university. A number of issues that we can't even manage to mention. The number of issues to mention, I would mention a few issues like modulation of result. And what I will say about modulation of result, like what happened last year, most of the students complained about the issue of where results were modulated at the day of publication. That student believed that it affected their result. So that's one of the issue. Again, other issues, it's like what I mentioned at the first place, losses of result. These are one of the issues again students have been facing. And when we are voted into power, uh, I believe these are issues that we must look into and uh, make progress so that there are no such kind of cases when we are put into power. Yes.
Okay. So, that challenge, I would like, so you've mentioned the challenge of moderations, Mr. Frederick. So,
Yes.
the viewers there, I would like to know, like, how can you address such an issue? How can you address it? Since it's one of them that you've actually identified to say that's one of the challenges, but how do you wish to actually address it once you are elected into power this coming September?
Thank you very much for the question, but I'll answer the question according to the knowledge that I've acquired regarding to that issue. Right now, I wouldn't say much about it or how I would work on it. So right now, I'm just working on how best I would make sure that I work on that issue. Why I say so? Because I believe modulation of result happens during uh, Senate meeting where the
Yeah.
academic minister is present to make sure that he speaks for the student populace. So my main goal is to look at into what made that incidence of where results were moderated at the day of publication, and see how best we can work on that, because I believe that we are a number of students at our school. We are not just it's not a secondary school. Of course, it's a university where we are a lot. So uh, some didn't even understand or like what criteria did they use to moderate the result. So as an academic minister, I believe that more time was needed to work on the modulation of result than a day modulating and publishing them in a day. So I believe, I myself, I strongly believe and convicted to say maybe there were even some mistakes that were made. So we right now, I'm just working at looking into what best we can do to make sure that that is not repeated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fredrick, I appreciate that response. But Kapasa Makaza is an environment. It's an
Yes.
environment where involves different officers in different offices and different people.
Mhm.
So, what we are looking into, there are situations where lecturers will just wake up and say, "Okay, we're having a class on a Saturday," and
Okay.
then the class will just post to say, "We're having a class on Saturday." So, given that situation, how are you, Mr. Frederick Banda, work with lecturers in the administration to actually promote a conducive learning environment for students?
Okay. Thank you very much. I believe the lecturers have their own way of doing things, and I also believe as a student we are also we also have time to do our own thing. So the thing is, maybe what we must try to do is to make sure that we understand to say that make sure the lecturers understand to say that we are also student human beings. We've got even our own plan. So like such issues have been affecting student, maybe whereby you have a program, then a lecturer would just wake up to say maybe you have a class. So as an academic minister, I believe we are working into we are working on it so as to make sure that we will not have such kind of incidents when we are brought into power, because those are one of the issues that affect the student, and it brings what we call less interest in the student for having classes, because they will think like they don't have more time to rest, but most of the time is dedicated to academic stuffs like learning. So I believe student must be given a time to rest. Student must be given a time to do their own stuff. That's how school becomes interesting. So I wouldn't just say what to do, but we are really working on that to see how best we can work on it.
Okay. Now, we have come to the end of our interview, Mr. Frederick Banda. So,
Yes.
is there anything that you would like to tell our listeners and our viewers?
Oh, thank you very much once again. I would like to appreciate our listeners to take time to listen to this interview, and I would like to tell them to say we are here for a change. We are here to make a change, and thank you very much. Yes, that's all.
Okay. So, it was nice having you, Mr. Frederick, on our interview.
Yes.
From me, the host, and the entire KMU Media TV community, it's bye bye to our listeners. Until we meet next time.